prices. He left his wife enough for life. Hope he doesn't eat wild bison as he walks 200 miles through the mountains. As he walks 200 miles through the mountains.
5 here, March 8th, I believe. And this is the only covered portion of the Appalachian Trail. We're at Neal's Gap. I would take you through it, but it looks kind of scary and it's dark, and I got a 5-year-old granddaughter, Lyric, who I do not want to scare. So we are not going to do that today. We'll see. I guess today's plan is to go from Neal's Gap to Low Gap Shelter, I believe. It's roughly about 12 miles, which shouldn't be too bad. Terrain today is pretty good. I think we only have to ascend and descend roughly 500 feet, which after Sassafras Mountain and Blood Mountain will be like a walk in the park. I mean, a little interesting park, but still a walk in the park. But we forget to mention, it was Monday night. We stayed at the Gooch Gap Shelter, and just south of there was like this Army training facility, which I would say luckily we knew about, because it's about 9 o'clock at night. The dead silent, all of a sudden you start hearing these artillery shells going off and machine gun fire. And this went on off and on for like 3 hours. It was insane. And the fun part was I had a young couple, probably in their early 20s, camped next to me, and they had no idea that it was a training facility. So they were in their tents, completely freaked out, thinking World War III was going to start, and it was like the movie Red Dawn. So that was pretty interesting. But then about midnight, once that stopped, I started hearing these really weird sounds, like, I don't know, some like deranged monkeys on Red Bull. But apparently it's owl mating season. So there was like this 10 minutes of owl porn going on in the shelter area, and it was weird. I was talking to one guy the next day. He went to get his food bag, but realized it was hung on the tree with the owls. So that was a unique experience. But coming up to a little hill here, so I'm going to cut out, and I will be back in a little bit. Godzilla, Jason, and myself, as we've now made it past Neal's Gap. 25% of the people who drop out at Neal's Gap. I was talking to a guy this morning. I started hiking with a guy at the top of Blood Mountain, and he asked him, how far are you going? He said Gotad, and then about halfway down he said, well, maybe Virginia. Bottom of Blood Mountain, Neal's Gap, he dropped out. But I suppose in his defense, he said he had a 5-year-old daughter, and I have a 5-year-old granddaughter at home. Hi, Lyric, Poppy loves you. I could see where he's coming from, but I'm heading up that way right now, so I'm gonna put down the camera and trek on, baby. We just came across this. We don't know what it is. My eyes are so bad I thought it was trail magic and got very excited, but it's pretty interesting to find in the middle of nowhere. So what you do when you're taking a break and your 2 hiking partners are taking a pee, you stare straight ahead and you look at the mountains. Yeah. Beautiful. We're at camp, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It's brutally cold. We're loving it. So this is what we're dealing with today. And the big news today is Jason now officially has a trail name. What is your new trail name?
Pace Car.
There we go. Pace Car. He is my new hiking partner, Pace Car. So that's really awesome. So it's been an exciting day. We've got about 12 miles into Low Gap Shelter. And theoretically, we're going to try to start a fire. Not freeze to death, but the guys over there. And once again, all part of the experience. And